you're a business owner and you had a time horizon the next 5 or 10 years, and you're thinking, I want to build a business that maxes out the value for my hard work and risk, what kind of business would I build? Today, there's $2 trillion sitting on the sidelines in private equity groups looking to be invested into businesses. And you ask yourself the question, why aren't they deploying the capital, especially knowing that they get 2% management fee on all deployed capital? Why aren't they deploying the capital? Well, the answer is pricing to invest in businesses. Between private equity groups and hedge funds and family offices, there's $2 trillion sitting on the sidelines. Well, they're looking to put it to work in deals. Now, if you're a smaller business, the pressure, the valuation pressures are being applied still because there's so much money trying to find quality deals. But if you had a crystal ball and you knew how to access capital in the next 5 to 10 years, if you're a business owner and you had a time horizon the next 5 or 10 years, and you're thinking, I want to build a business that maxes out the value for my hard work and risk, what kind of business would I build? Well, it's all relative to what kind of life you want to have and how much you want to earn. So when I say that is this, there's 4 different kind of businesses. There's businesses that are cash flow businesses. So what is a cash flow business? A cash flow business, and I just had a doctor call me, a neurologist call me yesterday on Insta Live and say, look, I'm jamming patients through, I'm maximizing my time, energy, and effort for reimbursement dollars, and I'm building my business as a partner with a bunch of other physicians, but I don't really have the ability to sell my business at some point in the future. Maybe my income stream, but not my actual business because we're a group business. Well, in that particular case, that's a cash flow business. So you're trading your time for the maximum amount of money you can earn while you're working. Well, that's a great business because especially in healthcare, et cetera, or in professional services business, that's what you do. The question is, what are you doing with your money to work for you while you're earning your money? That's the question. But being a cash flow business is a great business. It just may not have the sale value at the end of the time horizon that you're thinking of not working anymore. Well, then there's a platform business. So what's a platform business? A platform business is usually over 75 to 100 million, where you have all the elements in place in order to grow and scale your business. So you have a great executive team, you have a strong leadership team, you have great technology platforms, you have replicated and duplicated best practices, you have intelligence, so you have key performance indicators on the things that matter the most, and you know how to impact those key performance indicators. So you have leverage. So platform business usually has leverage, and it has all the elements necessary to go from 100 million to $1 billion. That's a platform company. A tuck-in company, which is the third company I'm going to talk about, is where you get tucked into a platform company. So you build it to a certain level. You don't put all the money and energy into technology and all the systems because you're not trying to be the $1 billion company. You're going to maybe be a 10 million or a 20 million or a 30 or $50 million business. So there are a whole bunch of things you don't want to invest in because the acquirer that's going to acquire you and tuck you into their business already has those things. So developing and spending resources building those things might not be necessary. So if you're a tuck-in business, you have to be strategic about that, and you have to understand where value is placed on your business. And usually it's on maxing out cash flow and having a really robust system that somebody else can take and then add value to it. Now, then there's a bolt-on. What's a bolt-on? A bolt-on is, say you're in a complementary business to some other platform business. So you've got a revenue stream or a line of business that somebody else could acquire and then bolt it onto their business so they can extract the value you bring, but complement it with business they're currently not doing. So think about it this way. If I own a roofing business and I bought an HVAC business and an electrical business, I would bolt those on to my roofing business because now I do 3 things instead of 1. I have HVAC, I have roofing, and I have electrical. So If you're going to build a specialty business, you have to understand who might be the buyers for that specialty business versus I'm just going to sell to a larger specialty business that does the same things I'm doing. So how you build your business and the elements that differentiate a cash flow business from a tuck-in business or a platform business or a bolt-on business, understanding these elements and the value associated with those elements is critically important. Why? Because over the next 10 years, we're going to go from $2 trillion sitting there looking for investment opportunities to $60 trillion, of which almost $6 trillion of that is going to the same groups of people that control the $2 trillion today and are struggling to deploy it. What's going to happen over the next 10, 15 years when they have an extra $6 trillion? Then the other $54 trillion is going to be passed to family offices. See, you've got really wealthy people that are passing away and they're transferring their estates and they have estate tax and they have all these other issues to their children or their grandchildren. And sometimes when they transfer that money, the people in the family don't necessarily know how to make money with that money. So it's going to be transferred to family offices who have an executor, which is exactly what I've done for my kids, right? They'll have an executor who'll be managing and running the estate portfolio, and they're going to be looking for cash flow to be able to provide income to the people that they're responsible and have a fiduciary duty to manage the estate for. So if you know how this system is all set up and you can look at that system, that ecosystem, and you can say, in the next 10 years, there's going to be $60 trillion looking for great businesses that are profitable, that are sustainable, that are purposeful, that have earnings that are predictable. There's certain things that money is going to look for. And to the extent that you understand what that money's looking for, and you understand that the market is in a race for a gold rush, because instead of $2 trillion sitting there being deployed like it is now, trying to find deals cheap enough, there's going to be $60 trillion looking for deals. That's going to put pricing pressure on businesses that have good, consistent earnings, because that money needs to be deployed in order to add value to the return on the capital.